Join Bob Kolazarik as he welcomes a diverse array of guests to the enlightening talk show, Greetings from the Ashram. In each episode, Bob sits down with experts and practitioners from the world of complementary healing modalities, spirituality, and holistic wellness to delve into the transformative power of these practices. From ancient traditions to cutting-edge therapies, Greetings from the Ashram offers viewers an insightful and uplifting journey into the realms of mind, body, and spirit. So now, please welcome your host, Bob Kolazarik.
Hello, everyone. Namaste and welcome. I'm Bob Kolazarik, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Thank you for spending an hour every Friday evening with me. I know you have other choices, but I really appreciate you tuning in, and I'm grateful for your continued support of the show. And I'm super excited for my first guest tonight. My first guest is Jeffrey Noble, aka the Healing Alchemist / Human Potential Engineer. He's a distinguished NLP and energy medicine practitioner, life coach, and author. Jeffrey was trained by NLP co-founder Richard Bandler and studied Pranic healing with Master Choa Kok-Sui. He's been practicing Pranic healing since 1994 and now has the first Pranic healing center in New York City since 1993. Through NLP and Pranic healing, he has healed, transformed, and empowered individuals globally for over 25 years. He's the founder of the Noble Touch, Inc., a nonprofit focused on holistic healing. In 2022, he was awarded the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from President Joe Biden's office. Formerly a New York State karate champion, he is now ordained as a healing minister. His work with Pranic healing has been mentioned on Fox 5 TV, WABC TV, and various news outlets, radio stations throughout the United States and abroad. Welcome, Jeffrey Noble, to this humble podcast. Jeffrey, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah, I tell you, your reputation precedes you. I've heard a little bit about your story, but the first question I have to ask you is, how does it feel to be awarded the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award? That is such an honor.
Um, it humbles you, but it makes you hungry also. And what I mean by that is you realize that what you've done is nothing but the tip of the iceberg compared to the suffering going on in the world and in my participation in trying to eliminate that suffering. So it felt good. I was proud. You know, my team was proud. We had a good time. But you come back and reflect on it and say, okay, that was nice, but there's still lots of people that need to know about pranic healing and the work that we're doing. So how do you continue building from there and using that platform to just continue to build and spread the word of Master Choa's work?
Yeah, and the teachings are priceless. I mean, they really are. When you really get into like the combination of the pranic healing and the Ahardic yoga, it's so transformational. And is that the work mostly that led to this award that you had? And it kind of delved into the healing and the transformational community work that you're doing with your nonprofit?
It was based all on pranic healing. It was not based on NLP at all. It was based all on pranic healing.
Well, and so, but your work with NLP, tell me a little bit about that. I know little bits of it, but do you still practice that?
In tandem, yes. I started NLP actually before I started pranic healing. I started NLP. My first certification was in 1988. When it comes to NLP, my first certification in pranic healing was 1994. That's when I got my first certificate in 1994 in pranic healing.
What's the science behind NLP? Just curiosity.
NLP, to make it a short way that I explain to people when people always ask me, I say this is not the essence of it. This is what I say. That's the way the pictures you make inside your head and the things you say to yourself affects your nervous system and cause you to react a certain way. To me, NLP is like a tool for dehypnosis. You know, we have these problems, Bob, in our life. Sometimes we run throughout life and we have all these different types of problems, and they're all based on our mindset, basically. So if you can change your mindset, you can change most of the problems that you're dealing with. And NLP, along with pranic healing, gives you the tools to do that.
Well, the erotic yoga too. I mean, that's one of
Yeah,
the functions of keeping our emotional bodies and our mental bodies clear, and trying to develop that kind of mastery, right? I mean,
right.
that's yeah, it's so important. But yeah, there's so many different ways of looking at it, and it all kind of ties in together, I would say. But yeah, it's that's something I would definitely love to learn more about. So, um, tell us about the work that you're doing in the community with your nonprofit.
Well, we do
What's
a
happening?
lot of work in the community. I get tired when I talk about it. The first 3 Mondays of every month, the first 3 Mondays of every month, we have community nights of healing, which are done on Zoom. So we have all the healers come on. We have a part of healers that come on Monday evenings at about 6:30, and they prepare for about a half an hour, and then the doors open at 7 o'clock. Is it 7 or 8? I think it's 7. Doors open at 7 o'clock, and then the healing begins. So whoever calls in, no matter what their problem is, we have the part of healers that's working with them. And it happens the first Monday of every single month. Then when you talk about in person, the first and third Wednesday of every month, we have people actually come into our center and they get assigned the healer one-on-one. And that's every single, I mean, the first and third Wednesday. And then every Wednesday afternoon at 1 o'clock, we have a program for seniors. So we have healers that come on once again a pod, and the seniors come on. We have yoga first. Of course, we play Twin Hearts doing everything, but we have yoga. We play
I'm
Twin
sorry.
Hearts.
Meditation on Twin Hearts. When do you do that?
Yes, this including
That's
everything.
part of the night. I mean, everybody knows I'm like such a huge meditation on Twin Hearts fan. So my
Yeah,
ears,
no, that's part of everything. That's part of everything. That's
yeah,
like that's like general sweeping to us. It's like it's basic. It's the foundation of everything. So yes, we
right.
do meditation on Twin Hearts. They do yoga. Then the healing starts. After the healing starts, because it's an older crew, we play a lot of gospel music. They just have fun off of gospel music and do praise and worship basically. Then the first Saturday of every month, we have what's called the I Am Fellowship, which is based on my trip to Spain and Portugal. When I did the El Camino Santiago Trail, the Santiago Trail. I'm not sure you're familiar with it, with the
I'm
way of
not.
St. James. I walked 100 miles in silence, basically,
Oh
and during
well,
that, yeah, through from Portugal to Spain, and throughout that. Oh, with Louisa, I did it with Louisa.
Louisa Wendler.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
really?
yeah, I did it with
That's
her.
awesome. Yeah.
It was about 12 of us. 12 of us that went. I was the only guy that went. It was like 11 women and just me. Um, but we had a good time, and we did that walk. When I came back, I started the I Am Fellowship, which is like an opportunity for people to learn more about the spiritual aspects of things, not just the Bible. And I want to be a spiritual gathering, not just a religious gathering. So we have people come on talk about different things. That's the I Am Fellowship. Then we have Success is Your Birthright. That's when I do like a little presentation the first Sunday of every month, and that's more about just personal development type things. So that picture you see there's our retreat, one of the retreats we did. Every year I do a retreat with just the healers. And during that time, I'm really big on personal development. I'm really big on us healing ourselves, getting our past out the way so we can move forward with less resistance. So every year we go and do a retreat upstate New York. So that year, I'm not sure what year that was. That's just the
I think
healers that
that
were
was 2021 from my notes.
okay.
But you know what I also want to show is the picture of you with the award. I had a picture. See,
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's just beautiful. I'm sorry to go backtrack, but
That's okay.
that's just really impressive. But anyway, I hate to interrupt you, but continue. I'm sorry. You were saying.
And Master Glenn has come to a couple of our retreats and taught, for a couple of hours. I think 2 or 3 years he's come to a couple of our retreats and just shared with the people that were there, the Pranic killers that were there. So yeah, we do this so we do a lot of work, not to mention that we've done work with Harlem Hospital, Bellevue Hospital, Mount Sinai Hospital, Downstate Hospital. We've been to Rikers Island. We've been to the Brooklyn House of Detention, Bronx House of Detention. We just do a lot of work in the community. Do a lot of work in the community. So our community program is very, very strong. Our community programs probably what gave us our reputation.
Well, I mean that kind of illustrates why you get the award that you got. I mean, that's just really amazing work. When you're working with the inmates, are you doing healings on them? Are you doing meditation on Twin Hearts with them? How
We don't get we don't get to work with the inmates yet. We're still working on that. We get to work with the correction officers, and
mm,
no, we don't do Twin Hearts with them because it's an outdoor fair, out there health fair for the correction officers. So they just get to sit down, and we get to do healing work with them. But and we play Om in the background because they're like there'll be 200 people there at one time. It's not
mm.
a small thing; it's a big thing. All the corrections officers are there, and all the different people in administration from Rikers Island, wherever we are there. So we have not been able to do work with the inmates yet, but we're working on that now also.
I think that would be pretty powerful to be able to work with the inmates. I think I've heard Master Glenn talk about wanting to do that at some point too. I mean, it's I think it would be powerful. I think it
Well, we're close to it. We just haven't signed the deal yet, but we're getting close to it.
that's awesome. That's amazing. That best of luck with that. Um, you started Pranic Healing in 1994, and excuse me, you opened the Noble Touch Holistic Healing Center. When did you open that? I think we got a photo of your
The
building
center
there.
opened up a year now.
A year. Wow.
It's been a
So
year.
did you have a place before that?
Yeah, November. Nope. We were working from churches, community centers, our homes. We were all over the place. We didn't have our own home. And I have been lucky enough to be blessed to be able to actually get the space for our own center now. So we have our own center, and we're very proud of it. We're very happy we have it, and it makes a big difference when you have your own space too. It makes a big difference. You have to
Oh,
worry
I,
about
I
yeah.
yeah, I can imagine. You're on Fulton Street in Brooklyn. One of my friends, Kimmy Sire, Kim, she was there
Piano
teaching. I
Kim.
think I
Yeah,
think she was. Yeah, yeah.
she came and taught the first advanced class. That's actually Kim taught the first advanced class at the center.
Yeah, that's my understanding. So, um, she was one of my mentors. Through the certification programs, and just basically gave me my first ever pranic healing, and just kind of got me on track.
So
Yeah.
you
So
go
she
way back with Kim then.
say again.
You go way back with Kim then.
Yeah, well, way back 4 or 5 years since I started, but Kim's
Okay.
been doing this a long time, as you know. But we're about helping to spread pranic healing, Arhatic yoga. Pranic healing is a profession. You've been doing this. We got about a minute left to go. Any advice for people getting into the business, and you have a very successful practice and center. So, any words
Well,
of
I've been
wisdom?
doing it for about 13 years full time now. Um, and I say the key to me is marketing and sales. You have to remember, even as a healer, you're still a salesperson because sometimes you have to sell people that they can get well. They may not believe they can get well. It's our jobs as healers to almost not to physically convince them or verbally convince them, but in our confidence that they can heal, that energy transfers to them. As a matter of fact, a lot of times I offer people money back guarantee that they're going to get a result from the first time they sit down with me. And a lot
Yeah.
of people wouldn't do that because because they may not feel that they're going to get a result, or the person may try to cheat them or whatever. I don't worry about that. I say, listen, if you don't believe it's going to work, I give you money back guarantee. You feel nothing happened the first session, you don't have to pay me because I don't deserve your money if I can't help you. And usually, even almost no one says no to that offer.
Yeah, that's a good approach. Thank you for that. I will probably try that myself. So thank you so much for being here again, ladies and gentlemen. TheNobleTouch.org. Contact Jeffrey. Amazing, amazing man. Check their website out. You can find them on Facebook, the Noble Touch. So thanks again for being here. I have to go on break. My name is Bob Kolazarik, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll be right back after this with Luis Rivera.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back. I am Bob Kolazarek, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. My next guest is a remarkable individual whose journey in pranic healing is both inspiring and transformative. His began in 2009 in the wake of a family health emergency. Luis discovered the profound capabilities of pranic healing when it played a pivotal role in his mother's battle against cancer. This experience not only cemented his belief in energy healing, but also set him on a path to become a certified pranic healer. Luis has a diverse background from pranic healing modality, a 13-year career in IT, and service in the Air Force and Florida National Guard. Born in the beautiful landscape of Puerto Rico, he shares a profound bond with nature, often finding solace and recharging at the beach with each visit to the island. Let's welcome Luis Rivera. Hello.
Hey, Bob, how are you?
Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Luis was supposed to be with us the episode 2 with the American Pranic Healing Association, but he had more important things to do that night. I think we have a photo. Your wife was giving birth to that beautiful baby girl.
I've been
So
right then.
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So, but thanks again for being here. You have such a passion for pranic healing and spreading the teachings. A like-minded brother for sure. You and I are brothers. We know that. So, take us, share your journey a little bit with us.
Yeah, so hi everyone, the beautiful souls. Thank you, Bob, again. So my journey began, like you said, in 2009. My mom was diagnosed with cancer. A few weeks prior to that, I had already signed up a contract with the U.S. Air Force to go active duty. And a few weeks, I found out about this. And this challenge led me to find out about pranic healing. My aunt, she suggested us to go to pranic healer in Puerto Rico. And subsequent scans after doing a few healings on my mother showed that the tumor shrunk considerably. And to me, cancer was that's it. I was already grieving. It was bad, and then all of a sudden, I got this new opportunity to something that I can do to help the process and actually keep my mother alive, and who knows what else, right? So it captivated me, and it really gave me hope, a lot of hope in a dark time.
Yeah, so that's amazing. So, you had just started being in the military when you discovered pranic healing. Is that?
No, so that was right before I actually went. Uh, I had already signed a contract before we found out about my mother's cancer. So after the notice, I still went through and I left to be able to support my family. I come from a poor background. My father, my mother are coming from the bottom all the way. We're humble from Puerto Rico, and yeah, didn't see any other way, so I joined the military to be able to support my family. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I would have done the same thing myself had I not been already really banged up. By the time I got out of high school, I couldn't even get into the military. I was kind of beat up. So tell what about the military experience and the pranic healing? You know, when you started.
So yeah, so I joined the military, and for those who are veterans, like that's a whole life changing event. I pretty much that thing, like I said, when I was 20, I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm probably gonna die because you know how as you grow up, you kind of know like where you're going, and you have dreams and hopes for things. 21, it was black for me, like I couldn't figure out. So it was military. I joined the military and I left, and part of me was gone. Started this new life, and pranic healing, after knowing it from my mother's sessions and meditation on twin hearts gatherings, which was amazing to me. That I could sit down and play something, and I could get to a state where I am one with myself, and I feel profound peace and gratitude and love. The fact that I could play something and do it whenever I wanted was amazing to me. So I really kept that with me throughout my military career. And I met a lot of people. I went to Europe. I traveled the world. Like I went to Afghanistan, Iraq, and throughout the way, pranic healing really was always there. I wasn't meditating regularly, but I was doing meditation on twin hearts either once or twice a month, and that really gave me like a lot of like a solid um, structure for me to navigate through all the craziness that was happening in my life at the time, and still dealing with my family crisis back home while being away, which is really hard. But it is not as hard when you have something that you can trust and rely on. So
Yeah, no doubt. I'm a huge fan. Meditation on Twin Hearts. It is amazing, and that meditation in and of itself is transformative. I mean, like you said, you're a heart centered guy. There's not a lot of heart centered people out there. A lot of guys, and I said this before, they don't really even understand what that means. But when you start doing meditation on Twin Heart, you just your heart expands. You get to feel love and express love, but you're not losing your man card in the process, right? So to me, it's like I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, right? So you don't lose your masculinity because you become a heart-centered man. So that's for all the ladies out there. I'm working, I'm trying, but Luis and I will develop that.
we'll
And
get there. Yeah, yeah. We'll make it a trend. We'll make it a
yeah,
trend.
but you had to overcome a significant issue, right? Back a few years back, 2014, I think you were talking about.
Yeah, so after my time in Germany and deployments and things, I came back to the States. I was still in the military, and I went into a deep, deep, dark time. I felt empty, alone. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I was away from family. I stopped talking regularly to my family for a long time, and that put me in a very dark spot where I didn't want to go out, talk to people or anything. I just work and come back, work and come back, and that happened for about a year. And
Wow.
either I have friends that pull me out, we'll do stuff, but it wasn't, cutting it for me. And I remember in the darkness, I remember pranic healing again. And I looked it up on my phone. I was like, where can I take a basic pranic healing class? Because I was still haven't taken pranic healing yet, but I've been practicing meditation on Twitter. So all of a sudden, I feel this rush of energy. I'm like, okay, I need to do something. I found a class 2 hours away in Dallas, Texas. My basic pranic healing instructor was Maria Wilson from West Coast, and I went and took it, and that drastically changed my perspective on how I was dealing with things, and it really pushed me through. Um, it made me feel so good that I really wanted to finish all the courses at once. So I took basic, advanced,
I do
psychotherapy.
know. I'm laughing because I was the same way.
I was like, yo, we need to get this done. And really, a year after that, even I took all the classes. I took Arhatic yoga, and that's really when things were like, okay, black and white. So there's life before Arhatic and life after. It's very marked, the difference. And yeah, since then I've been trying to do everything I can to expand and talk about pranic healing and spread the teachings as Master Choa. So
Yeah, well, you're very active. You got a very active role in the community. So, what all are you doing? I know you're working with the American Pranic Healing Association. We work together on that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But if we have time, but what else? What else are you doing?
so yeah, so right now I met Marianne Chung. She was my mentor for associate pranic healer certification in 2018, and then I moved here to DC, and she was here, so we were talking, and she connected me with the community. And since then, I've been doing meditation on Twin Hearts weekly. We've been doing our Hatha yoga meditations weekly as well. We meet Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and also Sundays. And we've been, actively there. And then I had an opportunity to be part of the tech team for the Center for Pranic Healing. Our good friend Pranic reached out to me, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to be part of the team?" I was like, "Of course, yes, thank you, Master Joe." Yes, let's do this. So since then, I've been helping out with like events and retreats and Bovina, setting up tech stuff. And since then, the American Pranic Healing Association, like you mentioned, like been helping out with like the website and tech side of things. And yeah, it's been a blessing.
Yeah, that work is amazing. I don't know how you do what you do, but we're very grateful to have you on the team to do all that. And like one of the projects that you're working on is creating that meditation on Twin Hearts calendar. We both know the power of that. Now we're not ready to launch it yet, but we're getting close. We're finalizing the form of information that we want. But our vision is to just to have a global, or not a global, I'm sorry, United States map of pranic healing, meditation of Twin Heart Nights. So we're getting very close to that, and that's exciting,
Yeah,
to really kind of share meditation on Twin Hearts.
yeah, man, we're almost ready, like you said. So it should be good soon. So imagine, I've been thinking about that. Like when I was starting, like finding a place where you could do a meditation or find a meditation online. For me, like searching online, you could find places here and there, but having everything in one place, I know it's gonna be powerful. So yes.
Yeah, so grateful for that and looking forward to getting that done soon. So you also you're a professional healer. You're a certified pranic healer. You have a business. Betterment Fulfilled is the name of it.
Correct. Yeah. So Betterment Fulfilled, I started doing it as part of the. Well, I've been in a way trying to get doing healings professionally for a while since I was in Tennessee. But when I got here and connected with the community, there's this trend happening within the community of prana healing as a profession, and I'm blessed to be on the early stages of that as well. I was involved in like the creation of the website too at the beginning, and getting the energy healing as a profession book that the community put together, which I recommend to anyone who is a energy healer from any denomination or practice. That if you use this book, it's going to help you manifest your business. All the information that you need to make it happen is there, and
Yeah, we call it the Golden Toolkit is
the
what
goal.
it's called. Actually, Marianne, who you talked about, and Jenny Lai, they were on the program a couple weeks
Yes,
ago with
they're
the Business
amazing.
Development Accelerator. Say again?
Yes, they're amazing. Marianne and Jenny, they're
Well,
amazing.
well, they are, and they're they have their cohorts, and they're producing professional pranic healers, and they're having great results. But we talked about that book too, the energy healing as a profession. But how can people get in touch with you, Luis? We got about a minute to go.
Yeah.
Do you have email or anything you want to share with everybody?
Yeah, so right now our focus is Pranic Healing DC. So if you're in the area, in the DMV area, or you're in DC or anywhere you want to join our Zoom meditations, you can visit us at pranichealingdc.com. You can email us at info@pranichealingdc as well. And if you sign up for all the events are there, the meditations and future classes and things like that, we're going to post them there. And yeah, you can book a session or join the group. We're hosting group healings every other Wednesday, sorry. So that's another opportunity. If you haven't tried pranic healing yet, that's a good way of getting started and experiencing some of it.
Yeah, for sure. With a bunch of people who believe it and love what they're doing. So once again, that's pranichealingdc.com.
Pranichealingdc.com. Correct.
All right, Luis, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations and continued success in your pranic healing journey and business. So
Thank you,
it
Bob.
is time to take a short commercial break. I am your host, Bob Kolazaric, and you are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll be right back after this with Jack Benjamin, co-founder of Kids with Compassionate Hearts.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality? But it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating. Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant. Like, I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. You know, it feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I am your host, Bob Kolazaric, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. My next guest is Jack Benjamin. He's co-founder of Kids with Compassionate Hearts. He's also CEO of MyCo Media Group, a next-gen marketing agency. He's also on the marketing team of Pranic Healing as a profession. You just heard Louise talk about that last segment. Please welcome Jack Benjamin. Mr. Benjamin, it's nice to see you.
Hi, Bob. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, thanks for being here. It's great to have you here. You know, you're one of the few people that I talked to about this show when I first learned that I was going to do it a while back. And it just makes me happy that you're here. Did you ever think that you'd be on the air with me?
I think when we initially talked about it, I was offered a spot. So I think I kind of knew a little bit, but it's cool to see. I think it was about 4 or 5 months ago you initially brought it up. So it's cool to see what it's turned into now. And even watching some past episodes, I mean, you've had a lot of impressive people on here. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, it makes my job easy as the host to have impressive people like yourself. So, you know,
Thank you.
I'm a big Jack Benjamin fan, but you're here to promote your charity, Kids with Compassionate Hearts, that you co-founded with your mother and brother. So how did it start? How did it begin?
For sure, yeah. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I think it will lead into that. But ever since I was super young, I was very, I was introduced to, charity work at a very young age. And a big vision that I had, I think when I was about 8, 9, maybe I was 10, is I wanted to end homelessness forever. Um, obviously I was a lot younger back then and my mind thought a little bit differently, but my mindset was, if we could end homelessness forever, we wouldn't have to help homeless people. It'd be gone. We'd end the solution there. And obviously, while my ideas for implementation have changed, and now that I realize it's a lot harder than my 8-year-old self thought, that's a big driving factor for everything that I'm doing right now. And I do think, it's a possibility, and I really do think over my lifetime, I will, end homelessness, or start a movement to, maybe within a few generations, homelessness, will be gone. But back to when I was a little bit younger, I was obviously I was introduced to charity work at a young age, and I kind of fell in love with it. And as I grew a little bit older, about I want to say 10 or 11, I wanted to do more. And I remember there was a very pivotal moment. We used to pack these bags that would have toiletries. I live in Atlanta, and during the winter it gets cold. Obviously for us, I mean I know there's other cold places, but we put hats, gloves, scarves. And I remember saying that I wish we could make a ton more bags and give them to other people to help with the distribution so we could actually help more people. And I think, that idea, from my understanding, was kind of the start of the idea of starting a charity. And obviously we talked about it a little bit more. And I think a few months later, we got our 501c3, which is a nonprofit charity. And we founded, that was the initial start of Kids with Compassionate Hearts.
Is that like 3 years ago now? Is it?
I mean, I want to say 3 or 4. I think we've been at this for a solid 3 years. I would say 3 or 4 is probably the perfect number. But something that really impacted me is when I was younger, I was given the opportunity and given access to help other people. And I was also given the knowledge of what I was doing had an impact. I could just give $50 to a big charity and that could be spent on printer paper. But what I was doing, I really saw the impact, and I saw the people benefiting from my hard work. And I think that really sparked something in me, and that's what Kids with Compassionate Hearts wants to do to other kids. Obviously young kids are not very self-guided. They don't really know what to do. And a lot of times their parents don't present them or give them the opportunity to help other people. So that's what Kids with Compassionate Hearts does. We work with a few local schools, and we work with kids to help give them the opportunity, give them access to the things needed, and guide them in helping other people, and make sure that they see the work that they're doing. So, kids, say you get a few $100 for Christmas, you give 100 away to some big charity. You may feel good in that few second transaction of giving that money away. But what we try to do is we try to show kids, the actual impact they're having on another human being's life and how they're impacting them, not impacting a big charity where that $50 could be spent on printer paper.
Well, I know your family. They do a lot of charity work. I know I don't know your pop. You call it your mom, your grandma, Pat. I don't know what
I call her
but
Grams.
Grams,
Yeah.
and your mom, of course, whom I know, and I know her heart is just so loving and compassionate. So you're surrounded by that, and that's a beautiful thing. So you inspire other people, even older people, that to want to have that mission. And I've known you for a few years, and your mission, your vision hasn't really changed to end homelessness, but. So it's very consistent. And I have no doubt that you will be successful or make a huge dent in it in some way. But what's your what kind of projects do you have going on right now?
Right now, we're really focused on working with a few local schools, middle school and a high school, to, like I said, give kids the opportunity to help. And that's kind of our current mission. Like I said, my personal mission is to end homelessness, and that may be done through a different charity or through something else. But Kids with a Compassionate Hearts has a strict goal of empowering other kids to give. Because I know you said it, but my vision hasn't really changed in the last few years, and I really think even in life in general, not just the charity aspect, I think giving and having the mindset that I have all came from the initial charity work I've done. I really credit a lot of my success and who I am today to that. So I just want to be able to empower other kids to have the same gift that I was given.
Well, I think from what I can tell, you're making a difference. I know your mom sent me a photo of some of the photos from the school. I don't have any to put up, but the kids were blessing, the food or whatever, as we do as pranic healers, and that touched her heart in such a big way because she didn't ask them to do it; they just knew to do it, and so they were, so she was real
Yeah.
touched by that. But I do have a couple photos we could put up. I got one of your brother, Mark. Wish he could. Well,
There
no,
he is.
not.
So that,
Well,
I
actually,
think,
that's. I'm
yeah, so
sorry.
that
That
was,
is.
there he is. But the last picture before, we do a stocking drive every year. I want to say last year we did about 250 stockings that we
All right, let's
gave
go
to.
back to that.
Yeah, that one. So I'll tell you a little bit about this. Every Christmas, we try to do a big stocking drive. Like I said, last year, I think we did about 250, and I think this year we're on track to do 300. We do a mix. We work with, I believe, 2 or 3 different charities. One charity is a charity that works with homeless teenagers. So, I mean, as a teenager myself, I feel I really value Christmas morning, and it's amazing to be able to give that to other teenagers. And I feel like that prosperity comes back onto me. And then we also work with younger kids. And then we also, Christmas morning, we actually wake up and we have a ritual before we open any of our personal presents or celebrate any personal way. We go and drive around Atlanta, and I think we aim to do about 30 to 40 stockings, and we give stockings. We try to get coffee, donuts, and just make people's Christmas morning. And I can tell you a story. I believe it was last year or the year before. We were driving around, and there's a Atlanta has these big spaghetti junctions, which is all of the like overpasses, and homeless people live under the overpasses. And there's a big group of people we went to, and there was one woman that was awake, and I remember we gave her 15 stockings, and as we were driving away, I think she was crying, and she was going around distributing all these stockings to the group of homeless people, and it's so heartwarming to realize like you know honestly, I mean, that took us probably a day to stuff all those stockings and a few hours in the morning, but we really impacted so many lives on a drastic level. I mean, it really just shows, you don't have to sacrifice your whole life to charity work, and you can still make such a big benefit in other people's lives.
Yeah, without a doubt. Just like the one little random act of kindness to give to somebody who doesn't have anything could be
Yeah,
just a life altering event. They'll remember that.
really.
Like I would like to talk about Tony Robbins. You know who Tony Robbins is, right? So
Yeah,
he tells a story like when he was 9, 10, or whatever, young boy, they didn't have any food at Thanksgiving, and somebody dropped off, food, so they have a Thanksgiving meal. And I don't know, he that just made such an impression. And I don't know how many hundreds of millions of meals he's given out, but you can just a couple people. But you're trying to touch base with a generation, your generation, and
yeah.
teach kids, and we desperately need that kind of leadership in the world. And you can inspire a lot of people, and you're doing it. So that's amazing. What's your vision coming up in the next couple of years? What's
I think it's just consistency and growing what we already have. Um, I think we're doing great work, and especially over the past few years, we've really made such a big impact. It's just scaling what we already have. And I mean, I think, we'd like to maybe possibly expand into other cities and just leave a bigger impact. Because,
I had heard? I think your mom said there's kids reaching out to you to have you mentor them. Have you been mentoring kids? Because the people see what you're doing. You got businesses that you're starting, and hopefully we'll talk about that in a minute. But how's that with you working with other kids your age?
yeah, I mean, it's not really, set in stone that I'm like their mentor, but I work with a few people who wanted to, who are trying to start a business. Obviously, I've had a few successful businesses, multi five figures or multiple singular 5-figure businesses, and I've been able to work with a few people who are similar to my age and kind of help them with, some things they didn't quite understand.
That's awesome. I have another photo here. I'm just thinking of last year's a bunch of sleeping bags. You guys had a huge project last. There's another like I remember like
Yeah,
70 to 100 sleeping bags you guys distributed
yeah,
as well.
I think if we have time, I could share a story about that. Atlanta, we don't get too cold, but I remember there was one weekend where I think it got down to like 9 degrees. And I think we checked the weather, and like 3 days before it's supposed to get 9 degrees, we rushed and got sleeping bags, we got cold gloves, hats, just because, I mean, 9 degrees, I mean, Atlanta is a somewhat warm city. You know, homeless people they don't have the equipment to be able to survive in 9 degrees. I mean, I think people would die in 9 degrees. So we did whatever we could and rushed around and delivered these sleeping bags along with hats and gloves and, you know, I think hand warmers, just to make sure that they were able to honestly survive, because 9 degrees is no joke to someone who has never experienced or ever had to go through that.
Well, people that live up north like me, 9 degrees is still cold, I can assure you.
No, 100%.
So that's pretty awesome. So where can people go and donate? It's www. What?
Kidswithcompassionatehearts.com. Yeah.
Kidswithcompassionatehearts.com.
I'm not sure if we can. That's
You know what? I forgot to talk to Christian about putting up the old photo, but yeah, that's the website.
Yeah.
We'll talk to your mom about updating that. You guys have grown up a lot in the last several years, but
yeah, but it's just I believe it's just kidswithcompassionatehearts.com. And I think the website will kind of break down our story. I think it shows some projects that we're currently working on. And then also, obviously, there's a donate button. And you can, there you go. Yeah, you can donate on a monthly recurring basis, or you can donate a one-time thing. But we do have, it's not a written commitment, but every dollar that gets donated goes to a good cause. It will never go to printer paper or any silly thing like that.
No, I don't doubt that. We saw the image of your brother carrying all those bags. We know you guys are behind it, and you know the gallery. You can see the gallery at the website. Pictures of all the kids that are working and things like that. So that's pretty fantastic.
No, for sure.
Awesome work. I've been a fan of the charity for a few years now myself. So. We got about a minute left. I know you got other things doing. So you're a serial entrepreneur. You know, real quick, what are you doing?
Yeah. So right now I run Myco Media Group. We leverage the power of social media, and we'll grow your social media following. So we do script writing. We help you actually film the content to make sure the content is good, and then we edit it and post it. So all you have to do is focus on your business. A lot of people are seeing great success with social media, and having social media is one of the only ways where you can get mass attention, and a lot of people can follow you and support you. And for lead generation within a business, it's fantastic. So Myco Media, I believe our website is at mycomediagroup.com.
That's well for people listening on the radio. MYCO mediagroup.com. So yeah, you and I have collaborated on a little bit, so I highly recommend you. You're also on the Pranic Healing as a professional marketing team, as I talked about, but I do have to come up on another commercial break. But Jack, thank you so much for being here and
thank you, Bob.
Your charity. Appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
Of course, thank you so much.
All right, it's time to take a short commercial break. I am your host, Bob Kolazarik, and you're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll be right back after this.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back. I'm Bob Kolazarek, and you are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. I really want to thank my guests that were on the show tonight. Jeffrey Noble, doing amazing work, a lifetime of amazing work. He was awarded the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. So just amazing, amazing man, touching so many lives. And be sure to check out the Noble Touch Holistic Wellness Center in Brooklyn, New York at the nobletouch.org is their website. Also, thanks to Luis Rivera, another passionate individual, spreading the Pranic healing with all he does through his business, Betterment Fulfilled, becoming a Pranic healing instructor, tech services, just a lot of service, So this episode is about charity work, service, and, I feel Luis's passion. I get to work with him on a regular basis. So that's a blessing for me. And then, of course, Jack, he's an inspiring young man who's a strong desire for service and helping others. You see that. I mean, he is so sincere. He's unwavering in that mission. His vision doesn't change. So let's see, please, if you can, let's support the mission of Kids with Compassionate Hearts. Any donation would be greatly appreciated. Think of how you would feel if you had nothing and the kindness of strangers brought a little bit of sunshine into your life. It's very meaningful. So again, they're kidswithcompassionatehearts.com is their website. So all my guests tonight understand that the secret to living is giving. It's in giving that we do receive. So if you can't give financially, I know times are tough, be of service, volunteer your time. Somebody out there needs your help. That's where the fulfillment is, and just giving. And we desperately need more of that in the world today. So next week's episode, I have an amazing guest. Her name is Ray Indigo. She's co-founder of Formula Flawless. It's the world's first 100% fresh skincare. She's an amazing woman. She was raised on a farm in Pennsylvania by a yogi father who studied healing through Ayurveda. And she was taught at an early age to combine that with yoga. She studied organic chemistry. She trains yoga teachers around the world, most recently returning from teaching in Peru. I had a Zoom call with her, and she was telling me her arms were bruised up because she was helping train a man who was getting ready for his professional boxing debut. So she's a martial artist as well. Very, very fascinating, amazing person. And I can't wait to get together with her and, tell her story. So until then, I'm Bob Kolazarek, and you've been watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll see you next week. Atma Namaste.
This has been Greetings from the Ashram with host Bob Kolazarek. Through meaningful conversations and practical insights, this show invites you to explore the endless possibilities for personal growth, healing, and spiritual awakening. Tune in each week to discover how these practices can bring balance and harmony to your life, making it a true journey of self-discovery. Fridays, 7 p.m. on the Bold Brave TV network.